Welcome to the Small Screen Spoiler Show, episode number 112. I, of course, am CJ. Am I his monster? Boat. And the man, the myth, the legend, of course, that always joins me, always, is, of course, Jared Magic Hand Thing Azevedo.
Magic hand thing. They're called jazz hands. You get it?
Yes.
Oh.
No, I'm in for it. I'm good. Let's do it. That's perfect. Great. Never change.
I never will.
Of course, joining us, without him, we obviously won't do a show, and he will yell at me for saying that. We, of course, Darrell, Nuss and Protect Shayler. Hi, Darrell. From the future. From the past. I'm your past. Hey, Jez.
I'm your past. And your future. Yes.
What are we talking about tonight?
We're going to talk about the end of two different things. First, we're going to talk about the final thing to happen on Mr. Robot. The final 3 episodes. Season 4, episode 11, Exit. Episode 12, Who Am I? And episode 13, Hello, Eliott. And then we're going to talk about the finale of season 1 of The Mandalorian. We're going to talk about episode 7, The Reckoning. And episode 8, Redemption. Which is good because it's basically a 2-part finale.
Oh, yes, 100%.
Except that they did the first part before Christmas and the second part after Christmas because they're cruel and unusual. They're like, oh, we're going to give you episode 7 early. Isn't that exciting? But now you have to wait more than a week for the finale. Ha, 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 ha.
You love us, right? You love us, right?
Keep on subscribing.
Yep. Please don't unsubscribe yet.
This is the way.
This is the way. All right, guys. Other than that, for hey, you podcast listeners, you are going to be getting some ads right about now. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Cool. And we're back. If you want an ad-free experience, you could turn in most every other Monday at twitch.tv/geekio show when we're not having tech issues or stress issues or tech and stress issues or life.
In general.
Yes. Life sucks and you get a boat or something. I don't know where I'm going with that.
It works on 2 levels.
Yes, indeed. We should hear what Darrell has to say about episode 11 of Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot, episode 11. What the actual F? White Rose turned on her machine so confident that it would work that she removed her brain from her head, and it did? We see Eliott living the perfect, mentally healthy life that he always thought he should want. The perfectly acceptable job, a skincare routine, engaged to the person who represents the closest his brain can get to a romantic connection, and we get to spend the whole episode wondering if Mr. Robot really did go sci-fi on us.
Yeah.
Oh,
is it a multiverse? Is it time travel?
Christ.
We're going to spend the whole previously on convincing you that it's one of the two. And then we're going to do all the things.
Oh my God.
We're even going to put some Back to the Future references in there. And they're not subtle ones either.
No, they are not.
Washington's like, why does that sign look so familiar? Wait a minute. It's the Hill Valley sign, right? They just changed it to Washington Township? Yes, that's exactly what they did.
100% what they did. Yes. So I'm still not entirely convinced that anything actually happened other than Eliott got knocked the hell out.
Well, there was some kind of explosion, so Darlene said in episode 13.
Yeah, but they also said that he was in basically a fallout shelter room, which would make sense because White Rose is an incredibly paranoid person.
And they found White Rose's body there, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying that didn't happen.
Oh.
I know that happened. I'm just saying the other multiverse thing.
Oh, no, that didn't happen. That was all in his head.
Oh, yeah, that was the mind palace that the other created. No, that he created to trap the other.
The real Eliott.
Yes. Tyrell!
You're wrong. But
Absolutely not.
No, you're so wrong.
I'm so not wrong.
It's fine. We'll never agree on this, and it's okay. So we go back to where it all started.
Yes.
Back to Washington Township. And the power plant?
Yeah. Power plant. Nuclear
Where obviously
power plant.
everything is fine, even though there's no one around. We're at the guard gate.
Yeah, totally not at all creepy.
And there's like an alarm going off. Oh, well, I'll just walk in and do my hack, because that's what I do.
Right.
None of this seems suspicious at all.
It was super creepy too, in a glorious way. I loved it, but man, it was super creepy.
It was. And the opening thing was fun too. White Rose just getting ready while all of her minions killed all of the FBI people.
Yeah.
She just walked out.
Yep.
And there's only White Rose.
I thought she was gonna let the that last guy go, but nope. Everybody must die. Every single one of them. I'm glad that they didn't go all hard sci-fi on us on this one.
Well, they pretended to.
Well, yeah, but this show does that a lot, like making you pretend that Tyrell's not the real Eliott.
Because he's not. Because
Yes.
they've existed separate from each other, and people know who Tyrell is, and he ran a company, and Eliott was in a different place. It doesn't matter. We're not going to argue about this
Did
here.
the same shit with Mr. Robot in season 1.
Yeah, no.
They literally did the same shit with Mr. Robot.
He was never on TV. He wasn't running a multi-corporate.
He was. He
No,
was
he
the F Society
wasn't.
guy.
Yeah, I know.
And then
But
Eliott was doing other things when the F Society guy, who was confirmed to be Mr. Robot, Christian Slater Mr. Robot, was on
Those
TV.
videos pre-recorded.
There was ones that he was live too.
No, he wasn't. Look, we're never going to agree on this. Please, let's move on.
It's because I'm right.
No, you're not.
They killed Tyrell, the fake brain Tyrell, and that last one. It's the reason why we never got a payoff for that, and it's the reason why immediately after Mr. Robot says something about, because it's been like a month since I've watched this episode, something like you have to face the real you or something like that, and then it's immediately Tyrell holding the gun up at him and fires. This is not accidental.
No, it is not Tyrell. Tyrell is not one of the personalities. And he's not
Yes.
the real Eliott. You're telling me Darlene's brother is the CEO, CTO, and whatever else he was of E-Corp the whole time. And she knew it, and it was perfectly fine with all of it. It all made perfect sense.
Yeah.
And even though they went to that place, that random gas station out in the middle of nowhere, and the woman addressed both of them separately and recognized Tyrell.
As they've done with Mr. Robot and Eliott.
It's not. No, we have to move on. We have to move on. We will never agree on this. We will never agree on this. We
Because
have to move on.
everything that you could throw at me, they did with
I know.
Mr. Robot.
I know.
Like literally,
You can rationalize it away of every possible way. That's why this whole conversation is pointless. We will never agree. But you're wrong.
No,
And I'm wrong. And that's what's great about the show, right? Because you're right, and I'm right, and I'm wrong, and you're wrong, and everybody's wrong, and nobody knows what's true. That's true. Because you can't prove it either way.
No, you really can't. Like,
Tyrell is Mr. Robot. Prove it. You can't. Tyrell isn't Mr. Robot. Prove it. You can't.
Yeah. There is no winning or losing in this because everybody is right and wrong at the same time. Like,
so is Dom. Dom's a personality too. Darlene, she's not real.
I'm glad
Dom
they
thought she
finally
was Dom thought she was in love with Darlene, but it was really just Eliott the whole time.
though Dom canonically bisexual. Just she
Seems-
went girls lately.
Yeah, she seemed to lean heavily towards girls.
Yeah, but I mean, she is canonically bisexual. Good for her. All of this was so much fun, though. Like,
Oh gosh, I
was
loved this
so
entire
good.
season. It was really great.
it
Even
was,
even the hard to watch parts, but
yeah,
it
like
ended strong, and
it did. And after a
landed
year of pretty lackluster at best finales, I am so very glad that they took this one and pulled it out and did it justice.
yeah, and it I mostly understood what was happening. At least I think I did.
That's a good, yeah.
And it was, I don't know. It was definitely one you got to the end and you're just it's like that happened. You
Yeah.
just had to digest it over like several days. What did I just watch? Did I like it? Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Did I? Yeah, I did. What happened? It It was just a thing. Just a lot of stuff happening all at once.
It
And
really and truly
it
was.
was like it kind of really ended in, episode 10, and then they had this like little 3-episode extended epilogue kind of like, and here's the final little picture piece that you get. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And in the end, it all made sense.
Ish.
And, it was beautiful and nice. And I liked it.
And leaving that hanging, leaving the Eliott question there was, I think, the right move for them. Because this is not the kind of show that gives you all of the answers at all.
No. So I guess the real Eliott is trapped inside of his own mind palace, because the Eliott that we've known this entire season wasn't the real Eliott. He's the quote-unquote the mastermind.
Yeah, he's the mastermind, the rage.
Who took over whose rage created this character to destroy the evil in the world and make it a better place.
Right.
And he did. He defeated the Dark Army and destroyed White Rose, and at least for now, made the world a better place.
Yeah.
And I guess overall.
Yeah, because, I mean, even with White Rose at the end just being insane, he still finished her because she was an actual legitimate threat to civilization. She caused a nuclear meltdown.
It did happen.
Which could have been fully catastrophic.
Still, what did she show Angela that made her believe?
Right.
We'll never know, I guess.
Yeah, that's one I wish they would have given us, but there's no way that they could have.
And I kept thinking that they just could not get Portia Doubleday for more than like a day.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's like, oh, we finally see Angela again, but she's on Skype. Oh, we finally see Angela again, but she's really far away in the background in a wedding dress running around.
Right.
But then they finally did show her up close. Like, oh, there she is. So they did get her back.
Yeah, it was nice.
And I'm calling it Universe F since it's F Corp there.
Yes. I like that. I like that spin on it. That was good. I did like that universe. Like, not just because it was the man who has everything again, but I genuinely enjoyed that universe, the way that they lit it, the way that they shot it, the way that everybody acted.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
The way, like, the pieces that were missing. No Darlene exists in this universe. Because that's apparently the key of telling which one's the real universe. It's the one, because Darlene's the anchor for Eliott. She's his one truth to hold on to.
Which makes sense.
It does.
I mean, if we were going to have anybody be the anchor, the rock, it should have been, and I'm glad it was Darlene.
Yes, his one constant through his life. And we're bleeding all over the place. So we've left episode 10 long ago.
Right.
We have the perfect universe. He's engaged to Angela, and he listens to OK Go, and he wakes up in the morning, gets ready for work. Goes work to Allsafe, which is his company in this universe. And Tyrell is the hoodie-wearing antisocial person, hacker man, who works for F Corp.
Hackermans. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Do we want to go ahead and just play Darrell's last two intros since we're bouncing between the three of them? Because again, it's been like a month since I've watched this.
Yeah, I know it all. I've got my notes here, so I know where each one ended and began, but it's fine. We're gonna. They're all so tightly tied together. You can't really talk about them separately.
Exactly.
Once you know how it ends.
All right, so let's play Darrell's episode 12 then.
Mr. Robot episode 12. No, seriously, what the actual F? Did you feel like the last episode was only telling half a story? That someone else was out there having their own set of events, and we were missing some of the details? Well, A-star for you, because after the revelation that the well-adjusted Eliott was not our real Eliott, more on that later, we see the other half of the story, following around our Eliott as he explores the strange new reality that he believes was created by White Rose's machine, and he talks to us again at last. And that slight sense of unease you felt before, at being the unrecognized voyeur in the life of our hero, is finally let go. You exist. Perhaps. Mr. Robot episode 13. Oh, so that's the actual F. Oh, wait. What? Could this be the most satisfying series finale since Captain Picard sat down with his friends for a long overdue game of poker? After some brief levity last episode, the finale does its best to melt your brain as all your questions are answered in a way that would make J.J. Abrams wet his actual pants. Eliott is the other personality. Who is the real Eliott? Is it me? Am I real? The only thing I know for sure is that I want to go back and watch this series again from the beginning to see if there are any clues that we could have picked up earlier. And that really is the sign of a good last episode. Also, and this might be an unpopular opinion, I want more. I want to see what happens when Mr. Robot and Eliott interact with the real Eliott to help him make his way through the harsh reality they've left him in. The ending opens up a world of possibility, which too, I guess, is a good thing for a last episode to do, to make us feel like these people will go on to do more once the curtains are finally closed.
Exactly. Now we can fight and argue and grump about which is the real Eliott and what happened and everything like that, but that is exactly it. This show ended and it made us want more. It made us believe that this universe continues on, that it is not just a hard stop, and this characters that you built up for the last 10 years suddenly did face turns or heel turns that made no sense for them, and then they killed one another and that made absolutely no sense. The primary villain that you set up over 10 years suddenly was killed literally off screen. Not that a show that ended in 2019 ever did that.
Never. Why would they do that? But on this show,
I'm so glad Mr. Robot ended well. I was
strong.
so afraid. I was so very afraid that the show was going to shit the bed at the 11th hour and just be like, nope, we're going to hold your hand. Because I think the worst scenario in this, for me anyway, is we're going to hold your hands and explicitly walk you through all of the answers and beat you over the head with symbolism that didn't need to be there. And at the end, the real Eliott was still Rami Malek.
Because he wasn't he? I mean, they just showed an eyeball.
They just showed an eyeball, but I don't think it was his
all
color of eyes, but that doesn't really mean anything because contacts. But
is that how Darrell knew it was the real him? His eyes changed color?
Yes. I think, well, also, and this is something we cannot argue about because it's been explained over and over again. That's how she knew the difference between Eliott and Robot, too. Their mannerisms and stuff like that. It's the Superman effect.
Yeah,
it's not the
he had different mannerisms. He said things different ways.
Yeah. It's not the glasses that makes Superman and Clark Kent different. It is that there is no way in any way, shape, or form that Clark Kent will ever act like Superman, and Superman will never act like Clark Kent. So there would never be a reason to ever think of them differently or think of them as the same person. Darlene, who is obviously the closest person in the world to Eliott, there doesn't need to be there's no question in her mind that this is how this is him, or this is Robot, or this is Architect, Mastermind, or whatever we're going to call him.
Mastermind, Mr. Robot.
Yeah. There's no question on who's Mr. Robot, who's Eliott, who's the Mastermind, who's baby Eliott, who is mom.
Young Eliott was the one he built to deal with his stuff. Mr. Robot was the protector. His mom was the persecutor. I wrote these all down as they were explained. Then we had the voyeurs, who was us, the audience.
Yeah, we are also Eliott, but
and
not
the
Eliott. Not the real
mastermind,
Eliott.
which is Rage. No, we are not the real Eliott either.
But we are an Eliott.
Yes. We are one of the personalities.
Yes.
Guess the show. Oh. Dang it, show, you're too clever.
Yeah, right? I half expected them to turn around to a live studio audience.
Yeah, when he goes into the theater to watch Eliott's life play out.
Part of me wanted them to do that, and part of me, I'm glad that they did, but part of me wanted them to do that. Because with DID, all of those personalities are going to manifest. Just because we didn't see them manifest over the course of a year that we've been in Eliott's life.
I think it was 2.
Was it 2 years? It may have been 2 years. That's just me forgetting when the last.
Yeah, no. Where did we begin? It seems like so long ago.
I think you're right. I think the 9/5 was in 2014, and then all of 2015 happened while we were watching it until the very end of 2015.
Right.
If I remember correctly, I could be entirely wrong.
I could too. I don't remember what happened in this show.
I think that might have been the case, though. Darrell will tell us, because if he isn't already rewatching it, he might be in the future when he's listening to this, or he has more opportunity to Google than us when we're recording.
Google all the Googles. Give it a Googs.
It was bittersweet because of it ending the way that it did.
Yeah.
I think if it would have went off like a Sopranos or a Game of Thrones, or what most of the people think of the Lost finale, I don't know.
I'm one of the ones that like it.
I think if it would have shot the bed, majority stated shot the bed, I think it would have been a lot easier to let this go than seeing this off. This is your kid graduating honors and then looking at you and saying, "I'm leaving," and then getting on a plane. You know that world exists, but you're not going to see it. And that's bittersweet and good. Yeah. Like, I will hold animosity in my body for the Game of Thrones ending for the rest of my life.
I will always be angry about this.
That show collapsed under its own weight. And this season had a very good opportunity to do that. And I'm so glad they didn't. Because there was such a house of cards on top of this single card. The entire infrastructure was being held up by a single card. And damn it, that card was freaking super glued to the table.
Yeah. I mean, and they even like mess with you for the all 3 episodes. They're like, are they gonna do time travel? Or are they doing a multiverse? Like, I just don't know how I feel about that. And they're like, yeah, we are gonna do that. No, I'm just kidding.
Totally.
Wait, yeah, we are. No, we're not.
Totally the multiverse, you guys.
It's totally a multiverse. Wait, no, it's not. It's this.
And that's the reason
why you're like, wait, and okay, well, no, that's good. I like that. Yeah. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, they did that very well. They took that, they didn't like try and pretend that it wasn't. They, for all intents and purposes, just like they've done multiple times in this, to Eliott, this was as real as it was. When it exploded and the safe room probably got super hot because it's still in the middle of a nuclear meltdown.
Yep. They faded to red, which is an interesting
you don't fade to black, you fade to red.
He's
literally standing in the middle of Chernobyl, and I'm sure that fucked with his brain. Obviously it did. That's the reason why we got as deep dive as we did into his mind palace / prison.
Where he acts totally normal and not creepy at all.
Right?
And it's so awkward to watch.
Oh my God. It was so like seeing him do that. Like that was distressing for me. Like seeing him be a 9-to-5 Joe, like that was so disorienting for me. It was like it was like I had a fever and I was watching this. Like
this can't be real.
It messed with me, and this show gave you zero to think that it wasn't real. Until Eliott, until
Mr.
let's call him Eliott because that's the Eliott that we've known. Until the real Eliott came into the picture, and then I started noticing subtle changes for this, and I had to get real close to my freaking 60-inch TV to notice this. The lighting was different. The lighting and the way the camera was shot, the camera was held, was different for good guy Eliott, which is the fake Eliott, and technically the bad guy Eliott. Eliott.
Our Eliott.
The camera was, there were Oversaturated for good Eliott, you had oversaturated colors, lots more pastels. The camera was held very much so slightly to the left. And this is a trick that they have to make you concentrate not on the center of the screen, but stuff that happens on the peripheral of the screen. That's the reason why you had a lot more bit characters on there. Because this is a it's been 20 years since I've done film school. We learned it as a left grip. There's a full terminology about it for it, but it's always a left side to the screen. The main focus is never right in the middle of the screen. They double this up with oversaturating the colors, putting a lot more pastels in this, focusing on the sun, throwing some fucking J.J. Abrams sun flares in there. So,
they sure did.
Purposely done and focus breaking solar flares. And through the entire thing, I noticed that there was not a lot of natural looking light in this. And then when our Eliott came in, the technical villain of this story came into it, of the technical villain of the F universe came into the story, everything got more real. Everything, all of the oversaturated colors went away. The camera shifted back to the center where Eliott was the primary focal point. Fake Eliott was never the primary focal point. It was always the stuff around him.
Yeah, he was always off-centered and in the shadow.
But real Eliott, our Eliott, not, Eliott 0 versus F Eliott. Felliott.
Universe F.
Felliott. That our Eliott was always focused, was always the point of view. And it was so very subtle. Very, very subtle. And oh my God, that was amazing to watch. Watching that shift, watching that jar, because Rachel's like, something doesn't feel right when the other Eliott's on screen. And I watched the entire thing again, and I sat and took notes on it like a freaking film school critic, like my bourgeois ass is. Because I knew they were pulling bullshit tricks, and I love them for doing that.
I'm okay with this.
Freaking left grips and improper zooms and focus breaking and like distinct fuzzing around the edges when Felliott was around, because it was all a dream, but it was never meant to do that. You never noticed the fuzziness around the side of the camera because of all of the pastels and no natural light, which is the easiest to blur. The same scene when Felliott was going through there was overblown and very obviously either day for night, or night for day rather, or in a studio. When Eliott's walking through there, there's natural light, there's sunlight, everything kind of looks broken. Like it is either very well shot in a studio or outside. It would not surprise me that they didn't build the same freaking set that they were filming on outside inside of a studio for Universe F for Felliott, because this is the kind of show that this fucking show is. We're gonna build 3 of the exact same set just to fuck with you.
No, I want to watch this all with commentary. Just what all did you do here? There's so much happening.
Oh my God, yeah, man!
So wonderful. It's so beautiful to look at.
I would love
Makes me happy
to hear Sam Esmail do his commentary over these last 3 episodes. Oh my God, that would be glorious. I wonder if that's going to be on the DVD Blu-ray release, because if that's the case, I might buy the last season of Mr. Robot strictly to get his commentary, and it would be well worth it. Sorry, film school rant over.
No, you're fine. That's good. This is good stuff. This is good radio.
Yes, this is not at all boring for anybody who's not at all interested in this.
Hey, I was listening.
Yeah, get back to talking about the weird fucked up mind shit. No, I need to talk about left grips and fuzzing for a couple of moments.
An oversaturation of pastels. This is important stuff, people.
It is. And this was stuff that's been bothering me because I tried describing it to Rachel, and she just gives me that glazed over look. Like I'm sure half of our listening audience is giving me.
What about evil Eliott killing good Eliott and shoving him in a box? And Street Cop Dom, like, pulling a gun on him.
I loved Street Cop Dom, by the way. That was the best. Like, oh my God. Pulling everybody into this. I'm surprised we didn't get a Joey Badass in here, just kind of wondering.
But we did get at least mention of Trenton and Mobley, that they were.
Yeah. Trent was one of the guys that was at Allsafe, wasn't he?
Was he? Maybe.
I think so.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but they existed in this world because Darlene didn't exist to get them killed.
This is true.
So of course
so they at least brought them back somewhat. But so I guess we can just assume they're dead in the real world. That
I am definitely sure.
So
I think Trent died on screen, but Mowgli I think got away. But I'm fairly sure.
No, they were both working at that. What's the name of the place? I don't know. It was like a Best Buy type place in California.
I thought one of them died on camera.
And they were they were sitting at a table outside on their lunch break or whatever.
Oh.
Joey Badass walked up and was like, "Hey, do you got the time?" And then it cut off, and that's the last we saw of them.
Oh, I am sure that they died then.
So
I am very once you introduce the Illuminati, like anybody who has slightly wronged them, if they don't get off camera in peace, like they did. Sorry.
I'm looking up what happened to Mobley.
I'm so glad that this, I am just genuinely so happy that the show ended on such a amazing note. Because you can't call it a good note. Like,
oh wait,
the world's still fucked, and it might be better because Darlene did the hack successfully, but the world is still wretched. I wonder if their 2016 election goes different than ours did for no particular reason.
Yeah, I'm getting. Oh, they were killed in season 3, and I totally forgot about it.
Thought they were.
They were being forced to work for the Dark Army.
Yeah.
And then, they were shot in the
because
house.
Darlene got involved with the Dark Army because she was upset at Eliott. And then they were kind of just.
Trent and Mobley are shot in the head, and the scene is staged to look like a suicide. SWAT later arrives, and they find.
That's what I'm like.
Society paraphernalia. That's right. They pinned the whole 5'9" stuff on them, and then made it look like they killed themselves. Wow, I totally forgot all of that.
So it's almost like that's been several years ago by now.
Well, that was season 3.
Oh, that was
last
season 3.
Season.
So yeah, it's still over a year ago, dude. Stuff's happened since then.
This is all. Yeah, no.
We've slept
it's just
since
all
then.
So blurry. Maybe I do need to watch it all the way through again. Who's got that kind of time?
Kind of thankfully, it's only 4 seasons. It's not like when I binged all of Buffy and Angel in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, but those are much lighter. Fair.
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, they're not
I mean, I did
super...
watch all of Breaking Bad in 2 weeks.
No, that's a recipe for depression, but or just anxiety in general.
Yeah. I still haven't watched El Camino yet. I have to watch that.
I haven't either. That's another on my list of things to do. But
100%.
Oh, Better Call Saul's coming back in a month.
I know. We just got to make it through this month, and we got a whole bunch of stuff to do.
Yep, we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
But before that, maybe we should talk about that Mandalorian thing that happened.
The Mandalorian.
Unless there's anything else you want to say about Mr. Robot other than it was good.
It was
good ending. Wasn't what I expected exactly, and that's a good thing.
Right.
And I felt satisfied at the end. A little confused, but it was a lot to digest and think about. But I've been thinking about it for a month, and I'm still happy with how it ended. So I guess it was good. I'm still happy with it.
Yeah, no, this went as well as we could have expected. Like I said, I think the bad ending is if they gave us everything. Because that's a Gotham level thing. Like,
Yeah, but we expect that from Gotham.
exactly. And I expected this from Mr. Eliott, from Mr. Robot. All right, Mandalorian. Let's see what Darrell has to say about episode 7.
Mandalorian Episode 7. It's a trap! Weighing his options of an eternity on the run versus taking out the bad guy who's after Toyota, the Mandalorian agrees to Apollo Creed's plan, one that involves using the kid for bait before killing the big bad and going home for a nice cup of tea. Of course, since this does smell like a trap, the Mando assembles some of the people he met on previous adventures, namely the voice of Nick Nolte, a badass ex-stormtrooper that would make Finn wet his white pants, and a reprogrammed Taika Waititi who I didn't hate. Of course, it all goes to hell in the end. Baby Yoda's captured, Nick Nolte didn't sign on for Season 2, and Gus Fring turns up with reinforcements and a bad attitude.
Exactly.
Giancarlo exposition in this episode, man.
That's the beginning of the next episode.
Oh,
but,
yeah, right.
But it's fine. Still, like, when he showed up at the end,
I was like, oh, no.
Katie and I were watching, I was like, oh, no. It's like, what? Who's that? It's like, it's Gus.
That's Gus. He's
Like,
scary
what?
again.
It's like, what are you talking about? You didn't watch Breaking Bad. Oh, that Gus. It's okay, he's in Better Call Saul too. And he's the worst.
He is.
But also the best.
I can't see him in, like, any role that he ever does now, except for freaking Gus, and it's distressing. I saw something the other day, like a couple weeks ago now, where he was a good guy in it, and that was distressing.
I don't trust him. This is all gonna go bad really soon.
I think it was Scorch Trials. He's a good guy in that, and it's really weird. Like, yeah, we're getting towards the end of the season, so we have to wrap up kind of everything real quick. Remember all of those people that we talked to before? They're coming back. Except
they're definitely coming back. We were right.
one hot mom who really wanted to get inside of his body armor and didn't.
Yeah, didn't go see her, or maybe he did. I don't know how long he was on the planet.
The issue is he never said that he couldn't take off his armor.
Yeah, just the helmet. The helmet stays on.
Leave your helmet on, Mr. Mando.
It's okay. You can keep the helmet on.
The helmet is what does it for me. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Well, it's going to sound like I didn't, but I really enjoyed this episode.
Well, we went back and we picked up the shock trooper.
Yep.
She was not a former stormtrooper.
Yeah, she's not a stormtrooper. She's a shock trooper. She worked for the resistance, rebellion.
She was
Rebellion.
That's why she agrees, because it was like, she's like, nah, I don't want to lay low. It's like, oh, well, this Imperial guy's like reigning terror. It's like, oh, it's an Imperial. I'm in.
Cool, I can kill him.
I'm in. Sign me up. Oh, okay, cool. And she, she's hanging out in the weird indoor planet, wrestling Darth Maul species that I can't remember.
Sith.
They're not Sith.
That's a Sith species, I think.
Darth Maul species. Dathomirian? Dathomirian?
Oh, right. I thought I could have sworn
Dathomirian?
he was Sith species. Oh, well.
Dathomirian.
I just know his weird brother is yellow for whatever reason. I don't get it.
Why not?
But everything felt kind of forced in this episode. Like, and again,
A little bit, but
this is criticism. It's not me, because I thoroughly enjoyed the ride. Like, this episode was good.
oh yeah, we're
But-
getting the gang back together.
It might have been
We're assembling a team.
one of the weakest of the season for me, which is a little sad.
Yeah, for me, I would put it down pretty low. But it was all.
It was
It's all
obvious-
that setting the pieces in place episode. which
Yeah, it was.
no
not
one ever
me.
likes.
Yeah, no, and they either had two ways to go on this one. It was either set up the pieces, and then episode 10, or 8 rather, was the big finale, which is what we got, or this was the big finale, and episode 8 was the
Epilogue.
epilogue,
Yeah.
which both are viable. The issue,
I think this was better for the series because I mean
think
it's Star
so as
Wars.
well.
It's got to be big and it's got to end big and bombastic.
exactly,
Even if it is this kind of slow, take your time.
which
sometimes
this entire
plotting
show
Western.
has been, because it's a Western.
Yeah.
The show is a Western. It's not Star Wars. It's not It's more Firefly than it is Star Wars, and even then, like,
Yeah, I mean, it's got its big action pieces, but for the most part, it's just kind of taking its time, and it's fine.
Moseying down the trail because it's a Western, and I love it. Like, I'm not a fan of most Westerns, but the magic in this show, man, it got me. Like,
and you get your team together, you go to the planet. It's a trap, but that's why you got your team together.
But you got to do it because
you camp out at the lava river and get attacked by giant dinosaur birds
for whatever
reasons, because we needed to get rid of those 2 extra bounty hunters and give Carl Weathers a reason to heel turn.
Face turn in this one.
Face turn.
Face is
forearm
face
turn.
Becoming a good guy. Heel is
forearm
becoming
turn
a bad guy.
Because
he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. Well, he's Lando, so
he's almost Lando.
Yeah, he is kind of B+ Lando, and I can only say that with perfection because I freaking saw Last Jedi, and my God, he could still be Lando.
Yes, he can.
Oh my God, like it. So, not Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker ruined Solo for me even more than Solo was already ruined for me. Because man, seeing freaking not Billie Eilish, that's a 17-year-old British
Billy D.
singer.
Williams.
There we go, Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Eilish. Seeing him get back into Lando was just showed me how bad Don Glover did that role. And I don't blame him. He is a fucking amazing actor. But man,
I don't know. He was probably my favorite thing about Solo.
Yeah, no, yes, you're right. But it was still bad. Like, especially after seeing Billy D. Eilish get back into the
Stop it. And he can't even walk.
Right?
He's still awesome.
Like, yeah, he's
I
still...
have to sit down in every scene I'm in, but what have we here?
I'm still the main person you want to look at because I am still amazing, and I come.
Hey, you're the only other black lady in this whole movie.
We have to be related.
But I'm also maybe hitting on you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Rise of Skywalker.
That
movie.
Our relationship's a little awkward, and I'm gonna make it real awkward because I'm Lando, and that's what I do.
That movie, man, it is a hot mess, but it was fun to watch.
Glorious hot mess. Oh my God, I loved every
just
minute
bonkers.
And it was like bonkers and weird and like
what are you doing?
Kind of
Why
what
did
I
you make
wanted.
this choice.
Kind of what I wanted. Like Mandalorian recaptured the Star Wars as a masterpiece for me that I had when I was younger. This new trilogy, I didn't want to be a masterpiece. They did that already.
Yeah.
You are never like Empire is still probably my favorite movie of all time. You're never going to get to that level. Ever.
No, because it's already been done.
You don't need to replicate that. And this isn't a Rise of Skywalker spoiler stuff, which we should do, by the way. But it was so much fun to watch, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted out of the finale of this particular trilogy of movies. Mandalorian has a magic to it that exists within a special bottle. And it felt like it was being more true to the original trilogy because it was so close to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
It was shortly after the Empire fell. It's the reason why people are still using Imperial credits.
Yeah, it's only been 5 years.
Yeah. So unlike
there's still Imperials walking around.
Exactly.
Don't like that they've lost power. So they're just kind of...
Yeah, freaking Werner Herzog, or whatever the hell his last name is. Herzog, there we go. Werner Herzog.
Werner. It's
Werner
very difficult.
Werner Warthog. I can listen to that guy read me a freaking phone book, by the way.
Gosh,
I love his
so
voice
great.
so much.
So great, so weird.
I just want to have him. I just want to have him.
Let us see the baby.
I want to hear him read the novelization of freaking New Hope. Like, that's what I want. It's just have him read the audiobook for the novelization of A New Hope. Like, no, Uncle Ben, I want to go to Tashi's station and see about becoming a stormtrooper. I don't care about converters. I don't care about your power converters. I don't have time for hokey religions when I have a good blaster at my side.
Oh, please.
Hey ho, hey ho, hey ho.
Someone move this walking carpet out of my way.
Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
I have a bad feeling about this.
I heard the great disturbance in the force, like a million voices cried out and were silenced at once.
Okay, this could go on forever.
It really could.
Mandalorian. So yeah, they walked into a trap. And then guys showed up, and you knew everything was going to be bad.
Yep. When he showed up, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
And then they started
whipping killing his own guys.
And then they started whipping out his titles, and then I'm like, oh no.
So Moff Gideon, is that a character that exists elsewhere?
Yes and no. It is a Rebels character, Star Wars Rebels.
That's what I figured. Like, is Moff Gideon?
I know he was named. I haven't seen the ending of Rebels since it first premiered. I know he was name dropped, but then again, freaking Thrawn was in Clone Wars, so take that as you will.
Yeah, Grand Moff Thrawn. There can probably be more than one Grand Moff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then you have Grand Mothra. But yeah, he shows up and he starts whipping out titles, and I'm like, oh no. And then like everything starts going freaking sideways and starts shooting his own people, and I'm like, the fuck is going on here? Like, and then that ended. Like, we ended on a point of the fuck is happening. Okay.
I just killed my own guy. It doesn't even matter. Give me my package. Give me what I package. You must deliver the package. Baby is napping. Is he there? You will be very quiet.
I'm trying to tell Gideon, the baby is napping. Was the best. Like, why aren't you opening the thing? Because he is napping.
Maybe you should double check. Let's talk about that finale. Because, man, that finale.
What does Darrell have to say about episode 8?
Mandalorian episode 8. So Taika Waititi can do good things with an actual script. I did not know that this was directed by a person whose method of pointing a camera at people and saying, make stuff up, has always annoyed me. And I liked it more for it. Loved it, in fact. This amazing season finale takes over from part 1, which was the Empire Strikes Back of Mandalorian episodes. Unfortunately, the gang does get Yoda back. They escape from the magic mirror, and all it costs is some seemingly fatal damage to our hero. Luckily, this show works on video game logic. Weapon and armor upgrades are handed out at pace, and ammo caches are in strategic locations. And there's a handy med pack around for near-instant health regeneration, once the Mandalorian takes his helmet off. This is thanks to a handy loophole around Taika Waititi being dead inside. Eventually, the big bad is defeated, and gang prepares for a new adventure, and Baby Yoda becomes the next Mandalorian. And then every Rebels fan, myself included, went crazy over a final scene that had my daughter Kara saying, "That's a funny-looking lightsaber."
Oh my god!
Yeah, I didn't know about all the lore behind that thing. But
oh my god!
We'll get to that.
Yes! Oh my
First
god!
off,
I
Darrell,
squealed out loud. I squealed out loud, and Rachel's like, "The hell is wrong with you?" And then I explained everything to her, and I'll explain everything. We'll explain everything of that here too. But like, freaking Gideon shows up, and it's very obvious that he is the worst of the worst. And then for whatever reason, villain monologues for like half the episode.
It's Gus. It's what he does. But before we get into it, Darrell,
So yes,
Darrell,
Darrell.
you're one of my most favorite people in the
Darrell,
world.
you are like my
But
best. You are
we
my best
disagree so much on one, how good Arrow is because it's the worst, and two, the genius that is Taika Waititi.
He is brilliant.
Everything that I have ever watched from him is my favorite.
Everything.
Like I want to see Jojo Rabbit so bad.
Seriously, like.
But I was out of town when it was in the theater for a week, and then it was gone because I live in Alabama where nobody cares about these kind of things. But maybe now that it's been nominated for Best Picture, Darrell.
Hey, Darrell. Yeah, Taika Waititi movie, freaking Best Picture, and it has
Best Director and Best. Oh wait, what's the Best Director? I know he got Best Adapted Screenplay, but
and has a
Best
legitimate chance of making it.
But anyway,
like
now that that's out of the way, I'm glad that you now see this because the opening scene of this episode was the most amazing thing that I have ever seen in Star Wars ever.
The best scene.
It was the most Taika Waititi thing to ever Taika Waititi, and I loved it.
So
I've watched it multiple times. I went back.
And like the main thing that I love about this is sure they take pot shots at the stormtroopers earlier in the season, but then in this one they show them lining up the shots and still missing. I like the fact that they went to Space China and got a bunch of really bad knockoff blasters that they had in the clone army because the clone soldiers could shoot, but the Empire Palpatine's like, no, I refuse to pay full market price. We're going to go to Space China and get the cheapest blasters that we possibly can. And Darth Vader's like, no, Master, we should probably actually make our people be able to hit things. It'll be all right. I have my 6 or 7 red stormtroopers, and they'll be fine. So I got their items off of Amazon Prime at geek-io.net/Amazon.
So Emperor Palpatine is Doofenshmirtz? Is that what?
Yes. After the ending of freaking Rise of Skywalker, yes.
It makes perfect sense now. I made hold on. I made Snoke in my Snokinator machine.
And then I made this other Snoke in my Snoke Duplicatinator.
Snoke Duplicatinator. This is my robotic arm liftinator. I don't have to walk. But it can only reach this far.
Now go back and watch Rise of Skywalker thinking of this or any of the
And then every time Rey appears, Barry the Platypus, Rey the Jedi,
Rary the Platypus,
Kylo the Ren. It was me all along.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but I love the fact that me and my friend are watching Rise of Skywalker together, and during the scene where they're out in the rain, which is shown in the previews too, I look at him, I tap him on the shoulder, he goes, what? I go, hey. He goes, what? Kylo wet. So I hate you. Oh my God. But yeah, I love the fact that they're not bad shots. They just have really shitty equipment. Freaking, they went to spacewish.com and just got the worst blasters. It is the best idea ever.
They just explain it. It's, stormtroopers can aim fine. It's just their blasters are crap.
Yeah. Aren't you aiming? Yes, I'm aiming right at it.
And shaking and listening to it.
Yes.
Can we give it some water or something? You just want to see it. So
is it okay?
You don't?
No, I don't want to see it. Is it sleeping? We should check if it's sleeping. We should give it food. Maybe it'll do that cool magic hand waving thing. Jesus.
Is this gonna take much longer? It's like, the moth just killed somebody to make a point. It's probably gonna take. It's probably gonna be a little bit long.
What does the moth want with that? I don't know. Wants to eat it or something.
Eat it or something. I don't ask questions.
That's how you wind up like that guy.
I love that it was Jason Sudeikis in that stormtrooper outfit.
Oh my god, yes. This was the best thing ever. Like I would watch the 7-hour extended edition of freaking that conversation. Just having those two like wake up from bed, put their stormtrooper uniforms on and figure out how they got to that situation. Like them turning to the camera saying, "Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got here." And then they go through the entire day. Like I want to watch those two eat breakfast together. Like
oh, till the nurse droid shows up.
yeah, nurse droid shows up and well, also, how can you hate Taika Waititi? Like he's such a pleasant person who's just genuine and wants to make people smile and laugh and still put on art.
Fills the world with joy.
He does. I need to Darrell needs to sit down and watch. Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Of course I have.
Okay, yeah, he needs to sit and watch that and then tell us that he still hates Taika Waititi. Like
Victor is 8,000 years old. He is not coming to the meeting.
I'm sad that he's not directing or writing the next season. I'm glad that
I need to watch that show real bad.
Jermaine Clement's doing. You haven't seen the show.
No, I want.
Oh
to
my god, the show is glorious.
I need to just buy it, I guess.
You really do. It is so amazing.
I hear nothing but good things about it.
But next season is being fully ran by Jermaine Clement. And
I'm okay with that.
is off.
I mean, they worked together on the movie, so
yeah. Okay. Yeah, the show is what they put into the movie, but extended out, and it's amazing.
Plus, Matt Berry.
But yes,
Douglas. Curse you, electric sex pants.
Yeah. So Giancarlo Exposition shows up. And
tells everyone's names and their backgrounds.
Yep.
It's like, yep, I know who all of you are.
And I'm going to tell you all of these things.
We're just going to do what I tell you because we don't need to drag this out. I got the big gun. I know who you are. There are no secrets. Just give me my thing. And we can all die and move on.
Yep. I'm going to kill all of you guys. After telling you all each other's names and backstories, I'm going to kill you all. And then I'm going to go eat a baby. And it'll be fine. I'm going to go eat some green eggs and ham. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to go get some coffee after that. It'll be great. Bring me the big gun.
I'll give you till sundown.
Yeah, for no reason whatsoever. I want to be threatening.
We gotta stick to the Western tropes.
Yeah, that is true. That's the only reason why this was forgivable, because it is a Western. You have to give them until the count of 10 or until high noon or sunset, whichever is closer. You have to give them to that because them's the rules, man.
Yeah, and I can't decide if I was okay with them taking his helmet off or not. Like, I had already kind of resolved of like, nah, they're not going to take his helmet off. That's kind of the whole point.
I'm okay with it. It needed to be showed at least once during the season. And they did it in the best possible way with this levity / feelsbot IG unit.
The feelsbot.
And him being like, yep, I am not technically alive, so you can get naked in front of me. I'm absolutely not popping a robot boner. What are you talking about?
Just the helmet. Just the helmet. I cannot take my helmet off in front of another living thing. I am not a living thing.
Which is true.
Okay. Guess this works out.
Yeah. It's true. Like, it is not a living thing. It is a IG unit. It is a robot.
And I have hand wavy magic back spray.
Yep.
Because you don't have to get in a tank anymore. I can just spritz it. You can just spritz it. It works out. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
That was a little bit like.
It's fine. Hand wavy science is.
I mean, we can't get too upset about hand wavy science in a show with space wizards who are also ninjas.
Yeah, I mean, there's a tiny green Muppet that has force powers.
Yeah, that lifted a furry rhinoceros off the ground and slammed it down on the ground, and then also healed people. Like, we can't hold the hand waviness too far
because force healing's a thing.
Exactly. It is, and it was literally the first thing that we ever seen for force powers in the show. So, in any of the movies. Shut up, Star Wars people. That pissed me off, by the way. Force healing's never been a thing. Literally the first force power we see on camera. It's literally the first force power we see on camera. Shut up, nerds.
Oh, so we know why the Mandalorian hates droids.
Yep.
It's because they killed his family.
Yeah, that's a good reason to hate droids.
But now he has a reason to not hate droids.
Yeah, because Feelsbot, Nannybot blew himself up to save them.
Feelsbot did the whole Terminator thing.
I cannot be captured. we got our Wilhelm screen, which made me happy.
Yes, yes, that was great. We have to have the wipes, and we have to have the Wilhelm screen.
Yep, that's how we know we're in a Star Wars movie.
Yes,
or Star Wars show.
So they did Gotham the jetpack.
Yes, 100%.
But it was okay. The Rising Phoenix.
Yes, it won't listen to you until you train with it many, many times. Okay.
Okay.
Boosh.
Well, he had already trained with it, but he had to earn it or something.
You're supposed to have.
It's like, well, I can't hold on to this for you anymore. So congratulations, you have it now.
Yeah, because it definitely, like, when he dealt with the guy flying next to a ship when he was escaping the first time, like, gotta give me one of those. Like, yeah, that's funny, but like indicating that like he's never worked with one before, and then like, no, of course I've worked on them. Sad, all of the Mandalorians are dead, but we found out that it is it's not a race, it's a creed. However, there are Mandalorian race people, so people from Mandalore are Mandalorians.
Sure.
Natural.
And we get to see the Forger be a bad A.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. She went out like a freaking boss.
She didn't go out.
No. She went out of this season like a freaking boss.
There we go. Yeah, she'll be back. I have a feeling.
Stage right with like a freaking boss. Yeah, I'm glad that she wasn't a damsel in distress or anything like that. Like she didn't need Mando's help. Nope. I got this. You go get your baby.
It's like he's your responsibility now.
You are his father until he leaves. Oh, well, if we're just gonna lay it out there.
Yeah, this is the way. I go.
He got his symbol though, because he is a tribe of two. And
indeed, he got the Mudhorde signet.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of all these dumbass stormtroopers. Seeing the old TIE fighter made me happy too.
Yeah, TIE fighter's cool. Landing, got to see a TIE fighter land.
Right.
That was new.
Like, oh, well,
that's how that works.
That makes sense. Like, yeah, that's how I would imagine they land. Because every other time we've seen it, like, they have either been docked and ready to leave out of a fully operational space station, or out of Space Hitler's space Nazi jail.
Exactly.
So yeah, it makes sense. That, like, yeah, I saw that. I'm like, yeah, that's probably how I would have drawn them landing too. Cool, because you can't just have them drop down with their weird ass H shape, because how are you going to get down then, or up?
Yeah, but if you got to fight a TIE fighter, you can either flip over and chop off one of its wings with your lightsaber, or
you throw bombs at it,
or you can jet back onto it and stick a bomb on there.
Yeah, it turns out we figured out 2 ways to destroy TIE fighters in December. Sweet. that information will be very useful to us.
Took it out, but he's not dead because season 2.
Oh my
and
God.
Also the appearance of
the Dark Saber. I saw
which
the
I didn't
Dark
know was a
Saber
thing.
light up, and I'm like, yes! Oh my God, seeing the Dark Saber light up was so rewarding. All right, here we go, guys. You ready for this? Dun 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 dun. So, the first Mandalorian Jedi created this Darksaber as she was kind of creating a collection of the Mandalorian sects. But this Darksaber, one, she was a Jedi, and being the only one, nobody was going to piss her off. And 2, this Darksaber was to be passed down for every leader of the Mandalorian tribes. And this was the way for several thousand years until Rebels came along. And the hell is her name? All I remember is Ezra, because better than Ezra. Is a band from the 90s.
Whose name are you trying to remember?
The Mandalorian girl in there.
Oh, I don't know the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I don't
girl.
remember.
I didn't watch Rebels.
Now that the Darksaber is back in existence, I need to go back and rewatch Rebels, which is not. Oh no! Please don't twist my arm.
I know. I mean, Clone Wars and Rebels is all on Disney Plus. I need to watch it.
Rebels is so good, dude. But then again, so is Clone Wars. Clone Wars is so good. Well, season 2 on is so good.
And you can skip the movie too.
Yeah, please skip the movie. Whatever you do, skip the movie.
Because Baby Yodas are cute.
Yes.
Baby Jabbas are not.
No, they are not. But yeah, so up until the point where she apparently got killed by Grand Moff Exposition, and now he has the Darksaber, technically making him the boss of all Mandalorians. Until our Mandalorian puts a Baby Yoda to his head and he force lightning bolts him through the face.
Is that
but
how
only
it's gonna
half
happen?
the face.
Oh. I see what you did there.
He's going to get force blown up half of his face. For whatever reason, a bell was going to be ringing in the background. I fucking loved this season. Oh my God.
I do. It's probably my favorite Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I still love all my Star Wars things. Even the hot mess that is Rise of Skywalker. It's so fun to watch. But
yeah, I mean,
even if it was just
Empire is still my favorite, but man, this is
that's true.
It is literally right up there. Like it is as much as I enjoyed episode 7, which is probably my second favorite film of the entire whatever you would call a 9-ology.
Like, I liked Force Awakens as like a just kind of a retelling of A New Hope.
Yeah,
it's like,
it was
we're gonna do the same.
It was a retelling of episode 4 with a more likable protagonist.
Yeah, more likable protagonist and
Luke
much better special effects and pacing.
Luke was still wretched in 4. Come at me. I don't even care. He was the worst part of episode 4. Second.
Go on these days and get some power converters.
Power converters.
Power converters.
Strike me down, I will become stronger than you can possibly imagine. Mandalorian was so good, and I'm so excited for season 2, and I'm so glad that Happy Hogan is continuing on with it. Like, I am glad that he is continuing to be the showrunner, the show, like, everything goes through him, and I am so happy for that.
Please bring Taika back for more.
Yeah, no, like those two work together like freaking peanut butter and chocolate. Like, bring those two back together and just make them more. It honestly surprised me, though, because how much he enjoys being on camera. I've called him Happy Hogan so much I've forgotten his freaking name. Jon Favreau.
Didn't show up at all?
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't show up at all. Because he loves being on screen. So I wonder if there might have been a contract thing because he is so close to being Happy Hogan.
Maybe.
But I hope in season 2 we can get him on there because he's an amazing actor too, man. Like,
oh yeah,
I want him to be in a Taika Waititi directed episode though. Like,
yes,
because he's so good with ad-libbing, and him and Taika Waititi have a very similar thought process on filming. Most of the time, you give them 15% of a script, and the rest 85% is going to be amazing. Iron Man 1 was only 30% scripted, so yeah. Guess what he did, Darrell?
Iron Man 2.
Guess what Jon Favreau did, Darrell? He pointed at a camera at people and said, "Just make shit up." And it's still
Sometimes
one of the best
out.
superhero movies ever. Iron Man 1 stacks, by the way.
Yeah, it does. It does. I watched that one not too long ago.
2 and 3, no.
Fantastic.
No, 2 and 3, just no.
2's not great.
2
but it's
almost
fine.
stacks. 2 almost stacks. 3 is it's a mess. 3 is such a mess.
I may have to watch that one again. I remembered liking it at the time, but I haven't watched it in a very long time.
It definitely, especially after seeing his growth in all of the Avengers movies, like Iron Man 3 hurts his character so much. Which is weird because it was supposed to be his redemption movie, and it really wasn't after all was said and done.
I went back and watched the first 2 Thors.
Also, never brought up again. That extremist virus thing could have been real helpful.
Could have been. I went back and watched the first 2 Thors, and Thor 1 was good. Solid. I enjoyed it. And Thor 2, I don't understand why that movie gets as much hate as it does.
For real! Like,
it's really good. Like, it's enjoyable. And you got Loki in there doing his thing, and it's fun. And Kat Dennings is hilarious in that movie. And it's got weird dark elf stuff. Like, we don't get much fantasy in our.
And Christopher Eccleston is such a good villain. Like,
I mean, he's a bit of a forgettable villain, but he's still great. Like, it was still just, I don't know. I don't understand why that movie gets as much hate as it does, but it's fine.
Whereas freaking Age of Ultron is lauded still. Like, come on.
Is it? I don't know anybody.
Age of Ultron, maybe not lauded. Maybe lauded is the wrong word. But
yeah, it's a little too strong.
They don't hate on it as much as they hate on Dark World.
Even the Russo brothers were like, yeah, Dark World. We're going to like make it a critical part of freaking Endgame because that movie's good. Just shut up, all of you.
It's real good. Like, I really enjoy it.
It's a good movie. There are worse MCU movies.
Yeah, one of them's a capstone of the entire series, but never brought up again. I'm so glad Endgame didn't pull in Age of Ultron.
Oh, man.
The saddest thing is Quicksilver, man. Like, he was forgotten to time. Like, not even Scarlet Witch cares about her own brother anymore.
What about when your brother died? Who? Oh, yeah. I did have a brother.
I wonder if she knows what happened. They both do. What about your brother? Your twin brother. Like, you guys were supposed to be super close.
Oh, yeah, my brother. I'm sorry. I got distracted by my sex robot.
With my ideas of cyber sex.
And then they destroyed my sex robot, and I was really upset about that.
Yeah, I'm super mad that my sex bot got blowed up.
We should wrap this up.
We should. Thank you guys. Well, first, I'm not going to go into the outro yet. So, a little bit of heads up, or a little bit of house cleaning. Let you guys know what we're doing coming up the beginning part of this year. Next show's in 2 weeks, like it normally is. We're going to talk about the finality of Crisis. The Arrow episode aired tonight or yesterday night, one or the other. I think it was tonight. I haven't seen it yet. I was going to watch it, but
Arrow
I didn't.
And
Legends of Tomorrow is tonight. Yes, is the day after tomorrow or the day before tomorrow.
No, that's the Tom Cruise movie. Whatever.
Yeah, so we're gonna finish up that next episode.
I'm gonna give Witcher a try.
Yeah, we're gonna
already started it.
Yep. I am 4 episodes in. As much as I want to sit and blast through that entire thing, I can't watch it when the kids are awake. So I watch it when I'm very tired, because it's not necessarily like hyper violence or anything like that. It's fine. There is some sexy in there, not a lot, but enough for me not to really want to discuss that with my children. Not ready to have that conversation with my 9 and 10-year-olds. They watch a lot of things like violence and stuff like that. That doesn't bother me. They know that it's all fake. They've passed cognitive dissonance tests and stuff like that. They understand that is fake, but man, I don't want to deal with the sex talk right now. Witcher reminds us that Henry Cavill can act, which is nice.
That's good.
After seeing Justice League, yeah. Oh yeah, that
and
guy
he was
can
good
act.
in the Mission Impossible.
I haven't seen it yet, so I haven't seen that one yet.
It was on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
I think. So if you
watch
got
it.
that,
I
you can
generally
go watch it.
enjoy
It's like all the other Mission Impossible movies.
I don't like it. I generally
you
enjoy
like
it.
really enjoy the ride, and it's really fun and good. And then after it's over, you forget everything about it.
And I'm good with that.
And it's fine.
It's what I want out of it. Like
it's a very enjoyable movie.
Oh yeah, I'll watch it, especially if it's on.
And Henry Cavill's good in it.
Good. Yeah, just forget Superman. Forget all of that, because why don't we just forget Zack Snyder at all? Like, let's stop having movies.
Let's just move on.
Yeah,
this is the way.
It's time for DC to move on. I have spoken.
Yep. So Witcher, and then on February 7th, Lock and Key is coming out, and that's based on a graphic novel, and that means we have to watch it.
One of my favorite ones of all time, from Stephen King's son. It's so good. I am excited and frightened that this show exists.
Yeah. I watched the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer looks real good. Like, the trailer makes everything seem like it's going to be super fine and happy, but this stuff is not super fine and happy. So yeah, we're gonna finish up Arrow 2, because after this episode we have 3
I think, maybe.
Because we have the Green Arrow and the Canaries next week, which is creatively titled Green Arrow and the Canaries. And then I think we have 2 more wrapping up Oliver's story. We're going to pick up Legends of Tomorrow. Jazz is going to go on fully clean with it, never seen an episode of it, and I haven't seen an episode since season 3. So it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
No, I'm cool with this. It's fine. We don't have to
yeah.
watch Supergirl anymore, do we?
No.
Yeah.
No. We're good on the rest. Like Flash and Legends, I'm okay with being our ongoing DCWU ones. Because those ones are, enjoyable.
Right. There's 2 episodes after the Crisis finale.
Okay, so Green Arrow and Canaries, and then the finale of Oliver's story. Got it.
And the finale is Fade Out.
Okay. So I'm going to guess that he gets Spectre powers, and then just, I'm going to be God's right hand now. Bye. Yeah, so Flash, Legends, last 2 episodes of Arrow, Witcher, Lock and Key, both of those we're going to give shots to. By time those come around, Better Call Saul will be back.
Yep, at the end of February. The 23rd, I think. 23rd, I think, is when it comes back.
And I'm wanting to say one of the Marvel shows comes out in March, like one of the ones that we wanted to start watching.
The Disney Plus ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could be wrong. It is entirely a possibility that I'm wrong, but I thought I remember something that we were interested in watching on Disney Plus coming out in March.
Let's see, Loki's 2021. So
yeah, Loki got pushed back. WandaVision's this year, but I think it's later in the year.
Yeah. Captain America and the Falcon.
Let us know though if you want the small screen spoiler show to take on like Disney Plus movies, like originals. Like, would the Lady and the Tramp live Disney Plus original be something that you would count for a small screen spoiler show? Let us know. Show at geek-io.net. Or reach out to us on Twitter at twitter.com/geekio show or facebook.com/geekio show. Or you can tell us on our Discord at geek-io.net/Discord. You could also give us a call and tell us if you're okay with us doing Disney Plus originals or even Netflix original movies over at 727-489-4335. That is 727-489-GEEK. You can see if we ever going to post one of those episodes at geek-io.net, where is all of our stuff that we have up. Also, we may talk about it on twitch.tv/geekio show, where I play video games and we sometimes are live because tech issues are a thing.
Indeed.
And
who knows?
If you want us to have less tech issues, go over to patreon.com/geekio. And for as low as $1 a month, you get an ad-free master feed of all the stuff that we're doing, which is going to be more in 2020. Trust me. Exploding Dice came back last week with a hit. And this entire season is banging, and then we have this, and we got more stuff going into 2020. So you want to go over to patreon.com/geekio sooner rather than later.
Do it. You ready for your show titles?
Yeah, let's do them show titles.
All right. They're called Jazz Hands. Life sucks, and then you get a boat. Oh, so that's the actual F. Eliott, you can keep the helmet on. He's almost Lando. Grand Mothra. Go eat some green eggs and ham. The Feels bot. Go to space, wish.com and buy blasters. My sex bot got blowed up. I got over my brother, but I'm real upset about my sex bot. Sex robot. Well, we got two sex robots. And CJ voted for both of them. Of course he did.
Of course I did. Know me better than that. They can go to space, wish.com and buy blasters would give us some real good SEO.
True.
You laugh at me and then you pick the sex robots.
Well, because I know that's what it's ultimately gonna go. So I'm just saving us some time because I'm tired.
I am 1,000% okay with wish.com being in our show title, which admittedly isn't far off from sex robots. Let's call a spade a spade. All right, guys. We love you. Be good to one another. Happy 2020. Let's look forward to the future, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.